difficulties until it hit the gas and left everything behind. Number 1, 1963, Pontiac Catalina 421HO. The Pontiac GTO may have kicked off the muscle car era, but 2 years earlier, Pontiac had already built a monster, and they slipped it into a big, unassuming, full-size coupe. The 1963 Pontiac Catalina 421 high output. On the outside, the Catalina looked like a classic early 60s cruiser. Long, low, and wide, with tasteful chrome, clean lines, logically, and just enough flash to pass as stylish without looking aggressive. It was the kind of car you'd expect to see parked at a country club or cruising the highway in comfort, not burning rubber at a stoplight. But Pontiac engineers were quietly turning it into a street brawler. The secret weapon was the 421 cubic inch V8, available in multiple configurations. But the most ferocious was the 421 high output tri-power. With 3 two-barrel carbs, a high-lift cam, free-flowing heads, and higher compression, it produced a thundering 370 to 376 horsepower and over 500 pound-feet of torque. That was more than enough to haul the Catalina's big body down the quarter mile in under 14 seconds. A blistering time for a full-size car in 1963. You could pair it with a heavy-duty 4-speed manual transmission and a performance axle ratio, turning this highway cruiser into a fire-breathing monster. And yet, unless you knew what the 421 badge meant or recognized the subtle cues like dual exhausts and steel wheels with dog dish hubcaps, you'd never suspect what it was capable of. Pontiac didn't market the Catalina HO as a muscle car. It was a performance luxury coupe. Something for the discerning driver who wanted power without the noise. But in practice, it was an absolute hammer, built to embarrass smaller, lighter cars that thought they had the upper hand. Inside, the Catalina offered typical Pontiac class, split bench seats, real chrome trim, and a sweeping dashboard. It was comfortable, composed, and easy to drive. But when you mashed the throttle, the 421HO transformed it into a muscle machine with manners. Over time, the GTO and Firebird stole the spotlight, and the Catalina faded into the background. But among Pontiac loyalists and drag strip veterans, the 421HO earned legendary status. It was the original big-body bruiser, a sleeper in every sense, and a reminder that before the muscle car wars truly began, Pontiac had already figured out how to hide thunder under a tuxedo. Now, before we wrap this up, there's one last sleeper I just have to mention. This thing had more torque than a Corvette, but looked like something your grandpa would drive to the grocery store. It's the ultimate undercover muscle car, and almost nobody remembers it. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Bonus, 1966 Oldsmobile Jetstar 88 with 425 V8. And just when you thought the list was over, here's one more that absolutely deserves a spot. A full-size Oldsmobile that looked like Grandpa's highway cruiser, but under the hood, a total chaos. The 1966 Oldsmobile Jetstar 88 came with a 425 cubic inch Super Rocket V8 pushing out 370 horsepower and a monstrous 470 pound-feet of torque. That's more torque than a 1966 Corvette 427. Let that sink in. This quiet, chrome-heavy Olds pulled harder than Chevy's flagship sports car, and yet almost nobody remembers it. The Jetstar 88 was marketed as a budget-friendly alternative to the more upscale old Starfire. It cost over $1,000 less, but gave you the same monster engine, heavy-duty suspension, and the brand-new turbo hydromatic transmission that shifted smoother and faster than just about anything else on the road. You could call it the discount muscle car, but in truth, it was a sleeper weapon hiding in plain sight. There were no aggressive badges, no stripes, no wide tires or loud pipes, just a big, clean coupe with a bench seat, smooth ride, and the ability to light up its rear tires without warning. It blended in at the country club, but could dominate on the boulevard. Oldsmobile only built the Jetstar 88 for a few years, and most buyers passed it over for the flashier 442 or the popular Cutlass. But the ones who knew, they got a deal in a car that could embarrass just about anything at a red light. This is the kind of car that proves sleepers don't need to be small or stripped down. Sometimes the quietest cars pack the biggest punch, and the 1966 Jetstar 88 is a prime example. And there you have it, 12 of the most unexpected sleeper cars of the 1960s. But this is just the beginning. There are even crazier sleepers from the 80s and 90s that we haven't covered yet. So if you love discovering hidden performance gems, check out this next video on sleeper cars from the 60s. You won't believe what made the list.